looks
Rican.
fish in it, Orly.
Welcome to Orly's Island.
What are you making today, Orly?
I'm making a delicious chicken tagine with some root vegetables. So I have them soaking in water because it's potatoes and what's in there? Potatoes, potato squash and sweet potato. And then I have carrots that I'm gonna put on the bottom. With I sauteed onion, and then I mixed them in with some tomato paste and my Moroccan seasonings. And I deglazed the pan with a bit of white wine and then added some chicken broth. Because really in a tagine, you only need a cup worth of liquid. You do not need 4 cups. If you're doing it in a regular Dutch oven or deep oven, you would need at least 4 cups of liquid. Hey, what do you think of my tagine?
I think it's beautiful. I'm in love with it.
Oh,
darling.
This is my inaugural use. It's my first time using this sucker.
Yeah?
Just got it.
Awesome. Did you submit it in water and submerge it and all that stuff?
I submerged it and then I cured it in the oven at 250 with olive oil.
Yep, me too. So mine is slightly different because you can't see. Mine is round and it looks like a little round, happy little thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I feel like I get you because the recipe that I'm doing is a kefta, and it also doesn't require less than a cup of water for it to all come together. And I'm making it for you. I'm making you a Moroccan Kefta just for you, baby.
Yummy! You know why? Because the steam rises to the top of the cone. That's the purpose of the shape. And it bathes the food and keeps it in a lot of moisture, cooking in its own juices. That's why you don't need so much liquid like a typical Dutch oven.
Now you have a lot of meat. Is that all gonna fit in that tagine?
No, I'm not. I sauteed them and I'll use them for other things, but no, it ain't all those pieces. I browned it just to get some flavor going in the skin. And I used a bit of the drippings in the pan to deglaze with the white wine and chicken broth. So there's lots of flavor going on. And I marinated them overnight.
You said you marinated your chicken overnight. So what did you marinate your chicken with?
I used some of my Moroccan mix because I mixed a whole bunch of spices last night. Like curry, because some curry spices some spices in the curry mix already is in Moroccan food, which is turmeric and ginger and some cinnamon. So I just mixed a whole bunch of stuff and I drizzled the chicken with a little bit of olive oil, some of my mix, as well as lemon juice, green onion, scallions, and I also grated some of the lemon rind.
I also see to the right that it looks like you have either dates and olives and something like that. Figure it out.
Yes. So they're not dates. You can use dried apricots in Moroccan cooking. So what this is Roma tomatoes. I just cut them up. It adds some juice and texture. And what this is sun-dried tomatoes. Sun-dried tomatoes, olives. I use Kalamata olives just because I love Kalamata.
Me too.
And this, my dear, I never made it until today, is preserved lemon. Ooh. And you simmer lemon slices in lemon juice and a shitload of salt. So you want to use this sparingly.
You use the lemon rinds and you put a boatload of salt so that you could preserve it. And
no lemon rinds
to it?
Yeah, no lemon rinds, just lemon juice. So a half cup of lemon juice. Lemon slices, but I took the skin off because that's the bitter part. So I took the skin off, sliced it, took the pits out, threw them in the pot with the lemon juice and 4 teaspoons of salt.
How many lemons did you use?
4. I could have used more, but I had 4. Sliced 4 up.
And then I see that you also have some bay leaves and then you have 2 other containers in front of you. What's there?
Yes. So I have lemon, bay leaves. I add that. This is cilantro and parsley. So I'm gonna add a bit while the tagine is cooking, while the food is cooking, but I'm also gonna add some at the end, right when it's done. And you squeeze some lemon, put some fresh herbs, and mix it into the finished dish.
Oh my God, that's gonna be so good. So I want you to know so you're making a Moroccan chicken, is that what you would say this?
Yeah, a Moroccan chicken and vegetable tagine.
Beautiful. So I'm making a kefta, and I'm going to put it in some sauce. So it's also Moroccan like yours. And I'm using beef today because that's what our supermarkets had available.
I will do the same. While you're doing that, I will load up the tagine.
And for me, for the lamb, I wanted to get lamb, but I didn't. So anyway, since you just finished putting some sauteed onions to the bottom of the pan, were they red onions or white onions?
I had red onions, red sweet onions, and I sauteed them. And at the end is when I add garlic and ginger. I don't add it at the beginning because when you get that fragrance, it's like the last 30 seconds of sauteing before you put your sauce or liquid. And so I sauteed caramelized the onions and then added ginger and garlic. After the 30 seconds, after they all melded together, I put tomato paste and my Moroccan, a good 2 heaping tablespoons of my Moroccan mix into the paste and sauteed that a little bit.
So now you have that, you added some carrots, what's going next?
Yeah, carrots. I'm gonna layer it up, and now I'm just gonna sprinkle some aroma tomatoes. People love things that are unique or different to them. And tagines have been used for centuries in Morocco. And now I'm putting the Kalamata olives. I think I have lots here.
I think it's great. It's gonna be delicious.
I'm not going to use everything. And then I'm going to figure out how much chicken I can use.
What about the squash? Are you gonna put the squash in there?
That I'm going to put at the end. So I'm gonna cook this for probably this size at least an hour. And then at the end, then I'm going to add, man, you can't get much in here.
I was just gonna say, I think you're at capacity. Maybe one more piece? I see in the middle there, like in front of your chicken, you have another bowl next to the squash. Is that potatoes?
This I roasted last night, so I'm not putting it right away. I'm gonna add them at the end. It's roasted cauliflower, roasted peppers, and eggplant.
Oh, wow, that's like a gift. I want to be there so bad. Orly, come on, you're killing me.
You want to eat?
I want to eat your tagine.
No, but yours sounds delicious. Kefta I grew up on kefta. I'm just sprinkling a bit of saffron. A little extra saffron goes a long way.
There's so much love and care in the preparation that you took in making this. And I can't even begin to imagine how many hours it took you to do all of this right now. But I'm so thankful to make this.
Thank you. Love and care goes into my food because I love doing it, and it's always been a passion of mine. And I grew up eating good foods at my mom's, and no, I don't want a cup, sorry. Too much olive oil. I'm just gonna sprinkle some olive oil on top of the chicken. And then I'm gonna put my liquid. And that's pretty much it for the first part of it.
I mean, that's insane that you're blind and you have it's like a whole new world that you're introducing the world to as a blind woman.
Thank you.
First of all, it's like, how do you not cut yourself? Did you also cut the chicken?
So really, in regards to my cooking, it's because I use touch. And when you're touching and when you're using your hands, everything, you get so much more information.
So tell me, what are some of the challenges when you are in the kitchen as a chef that we would not know about?
Well, the things that I make sure I take care of doing is putting things in certain places so that I can just go for them fast. I know where everything is. Even the bowls I put out today, I had them set up in a certain way, so I didn't have to go dipping my fingers in to figure out what was in the bowl. I already remembered sequence, which is something that I constantly have to think about. And everything is in drawers. There's drawers for everything, and I remember where everything is. So thank God I have a good memory. That's a very helpful skill because you're running around, you're grabbing this. You're not going to search and open every drawer and cabinet. So I have to keep very organized. And my spices are all labeled. And I ask also, what's this, what's that? Sometimes when I don't want to grab my labeler.
So you have a labeler that's in Braille?
You have sticky labels that have a barcode on it, and you record what's on it. So you have to sit down and label everything. And then you point, hold on, I'm gonna put the volume up so you can hear what it's saying. Did you hear that?
No, what did it say?
Here. Meatball spice. Can you hear it?
I did.
It's meatball spice. So that's what it does. And then I know what's in there.
That is so fascinating.
The chicken tagine and vegetables are done. I plated it. It looks delicious. I'm gonna try a bite. Very flavorful. I plated it here with some Israeli couscous. Israeli couscous is a larger grain than the Moroccan couscous. So cooked just over about an hour and a half, low and slow. And I made the bed of couscous. Let's try it. And there you have it. My chicken, vegetable, Moroccan tagine. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, so I have an idea. Why don't we go into the other room and continue our conversation? Can you do a quick recap of your whole family immigration tree?
Both of my parents were born in Morocco, and in their early teens immigrated to Israel back in early 1940s during World War II. They met and married in Israel, and all my siblings were born in Israel. And in 1966, they immigrated to Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where I was born. The baby.
So you are fluent in French, Hebrew, English.
And some swear words in Arabic.
What can you tell me and the viewers about being blind that we just don't understand?
I find that vision, more detailed vision, is actually received by all of your other senses. So as years have gone by, I've realized that people that use and depend on their sight, which is fine, you actually see way less than I ever imagined than what I see using my hands, my sense of smell, my hearing, my memory, my heart. And I'm so in tuned to all these other senses that I find I have way more vision than many.
Even though, like for you, you're blind, maybe you don't see that as some sort of, like a handicap in any way, but the outside in, it just seems like, man, that's a lot, right? So,
Vivian, it is a lot, but I'm telling you that if I wasn't given this gift of being blind and with limited vision, I wouldn't be who I am now. And that is the truth.
I just want you to tell me a little bit about all 3 marriages and the loss and how that affected you from your first marriage and all of that.
I met my first husband on a camping trip. We had joint mutual friends, and my first husband's family were from Hong Kong. We met on this camping trip. He was Canadian born. and we got together. We were very different, but he had a good heart. We had 2 children, Aaron, and Aaron is, wow, now 28. And he was born in 1991. Akira, my middle son, was born in 1995, and he's 24 now. We were struggling, and we decided to separate a couple of times. The second time was in 1997. About 10 months later, I met my second partner, Scott, and my baby, who's now 20, was born out of that relationship, and that is the relationship that became emotionally, psychologically, and physically abusive.
Okay, what was the last straw that made you just leave your abusive husband?
The last time he was physically abusive led me to leaving and calling for help. And I've never been to a women's shelter. I never considered it. I took my 3 kids, made arrangements, got into a taxi, and went to the shelter. It was the best thing I ever did.
So when were you finally free of him?
He attempted several times, begging me to stay, to return, to work it out. And the last straw when I broke free was his last and final physical abuse towards me. He left the home and he was arrested, and then there was conditions, and that's the end of when we were together ever since.
So you got divorced, and then you had a happier chapter in your life. You got married. Again. So how long have you been married to Amit?
We met in 2005, so we've been together for a very long time, 15 years. Okay, it's not that long, but to me it is. And we got married in 2000 and, he's gonna kill me for hesitating, but 2007, December 2007.
What are some words of wisdom that you can share with our viewers?
I went to a retreat in South America last year. Big gift I had to teach myself is how to let go of control, no longer go against pressure and the current, and just surrender. And it's it's a physical surrender, a relaxation in the body, and it's a mental, psychological, and then going into the heart, surrendering. And when you let go and you feel that relaxation, things completely have changed in my world, and they're unfolding in leaps and bounds that I could never imagine. I've always wanted it. I never realized why I couldn't get it before, to the extent I am now. And that is the key. That really is the key.
I'm a little emotional.
Yeah. I'm gonna get there when you keep revisiting these situations.
I'm loving you for that. I just wish I was there to hug you.
Aww.
I really wish I was there to hug you.
I'm on a journey now to develop a cooking show, Nourished by Light, and an accessible app that will reach people all across the world. And from that, I want to be on the world stage, helping others develop, grow, and find out that change is truly possible, and to help them discover that through my journey and my life situations and my successes and where I am now.
Thank you so much for opening your heart, for telling me these stories, for allowing me to become your friend, to be so inspired by you and your journey and your fight and your
Fight. Yeah.
but
I fight.
dream and your vision.
Fight for the light.
Yes, for your light, for
Yeah.
your fight for the light in the darkness, like you said earlier. But more importantly, for you being you, because you really are an example, a true example of what it means to persevere and to be the most amazing outlier and to be a voice of inspiration for the world. And I just hope that everyone who's watching here on Dishing It tonight can take a tear sheet from Orly and realize that you have to take risks in the pursuit of your dreams, celebrate love, embrace diversity and inclusion. Thank you for joining me, Orly, and all of you here on Dishing It.